everybody, it's Call. You're watching Talkin' Ball. Just to point out the obvious, Jose is not here today. Jose is not feeling 100%, so he is taking the day off. Everybody, though, let's put some good vibes out there for Jose, that he gets feeling better soon. Like we always say, we're one big Spurs family, and when one of our family members is sick, we gotta make sure they're okay. But just a quick note, he is feeling better. But like just taking a day or two off to make sure that he is 100%. So if you are watching this, Jose, big up to you, my man, and hope you get feeling better ASAP. Make your family take good care of you. Get you some soup. Get you some stuff. They can do the cooking today. I know you're usually the cooking guy, but let them take care of you today, Jose. But everybody else that is here, welcome. As you can see, I'm joined by the beautiful Queen Ellie Hoybier. And Adrian Stroka, he's beautiful too. Adrian's beautiful too. But yeah, guys, how are you two doing today?
Yeah, I had a bit of a dodgy belly in the morning, but I'm fine now. I took an anti-sick pill. I'm cool. I'm ready to go. Yeah.
Yes.
Come on.
I'm fine. Adrian, I'm fine as usual. It's Friday here, isn't it?
Friday. It's Friday.
I don't know whether to go out and buy a few beers later. I don't know. I'm still thinking.
You're still thinking about it's Friday. Come on, man. I get it. It's Friday. Today is my last day of work for the week, and I am so excited. That'll be great. But yeah, so I don't know if you guys heard, but Tottenham, we just can't stop winning awards. We just can't stop winning awards here. So we've got the double for Mr. Ange. Mr. Ange Postecoglou has got the double officially for manager of the month. I think that's kind of astounding, considering how he came in and everybody was so worried about him and how he would do and but I think the worrying was unfounded. He's shown that he is a very astute manager, and I think that everybody who was so afraid really needs to stick their foot in their mouth now and hope no one remembers all the stuff they said about him, So like there's a certain person that I know who says all kinds of bad things about the guy, and we love him. We won't say his name, but I'm just wondering how you can be a bad manager or think, that they're no ambition as a club and we got a bad manager when he wins manager of the month 2 times in a row. He's going against Pep Guardiola. He's going against Arteta. He's going against Klopp, and he's coming out victorious. And so, I just don't see how anyone could have anything bad to say about him. And Ellie, do you kind of agree? I mean, he's had probably the best possible start he could have ever dreamed of having. I don't think that he could have done much better. Oh, I forgot to do this. Sorry. Jose's usually on this. This is my fault. I want to get through these comments real quick here. This is Jose himself. He's sick at home, but he still has time to comment on the video and the show. He's a good man. He says, everybody smash the like button and help the algorithms post comments. They will be read. I got to do that today. Interact with the panel, and if it's your flavor, then subscribe and hit the notification bell, and then it will tell you when we're on. Boom. There's Jose. Even sick, he is pushing the channel. He is a good man. Everybody, like I said, put out all the good vibes for Jose. Just radiate good vibes for him. He isn't feeling 100%. Bobby K, though, says, good morning, everyone. And I heard a little birdie say that he might be joining us today. So everybody, if Bobby K is your flavor, stay tuned because I think he's going to be here. Adrian Stroker, that's you. Good afternoon, all, you say.
Hi, me.
Good afternoon. Yeah. Hi, Adrian from Adrian. But he says good afternoon, all. And Kate, oh my God, Kate's here. Afternoon, everyone. Afternoon, Kate. You still haven't sent me those video clips, Kate. We got to talk after the show. Sonny's wife is here. Come on, congratulations to Angie for manager of the month and for Sonny for player of the month, 100%. And we're going to be talking about that quite a bit today. But yeah, they did it. They did it. And I don't think any of us are surprised. Well, I mean, there was a big leak about it earlier in the week, but still, when you look at the amount of goals that Sonny has scored more than any other player in that amount of time, and then you look at our points tally and the fact that we're undefeated, I mean, I'm not really surprised at either of them. Drula here.
La la
Good. And my lovely aunt.
La 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 la.
la la la.
Colin, get Kate on. Get Kate on. Come on, get the sub on before Bobby K makes his mind up.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah,
Kate.
let me put the I'll put the link in for sure.
Get out of that
You
kitchen,
got it.
Kate. Get out of the kitchen. Rattle them pots and pans.
Katie.
Yes, I didn't even see this. Absolutely, super sub, Kate. The link is here, and I can send it to you in a direct message too, if that would be even easier. But we'd love to have you on, by the way. And Hotspur says, big up to all you lovely people. Big up to you, Hotspurs. Always good to have you here. Always good to have all of you guys here. Again, like always, looking to create a big Spurs family. It's so nice to have you guys here. On your way in, don't forget to smash the like or just touch it. You know, you don't have to smash it, but just get it. You know, get that like. And yeah. So I'll start. So I've already kind of gotten Ellie's take on it a bit, and we'll get more. But Adrian, are you surprised at all with the awards given to Sonny and
Well, if they'd been given out, I mean, all the candidates were good enough. They're all good finalists to be up for the award. Ollie Watkins and others were all good. I think it's just a question. The fact that Spurs are top, it makes it easier for whoever picks the winners to pick the winners. The fact that Sonny scored 6 goals and I think only Haaland scored more, I think. I'd have to, someone can correct me on that if I'm wrong. I think that's what got them across the line. I mean, there are others. I thought, I mean, do these awards. I mean, they're nice to get them, I suppose, for the players and the manager. And like, it's a boost. It keeps with the good atmosphere we've got at the club and all that. But to be honest, I don't exactly get, it doesn't stir nothing in me if we win a goal of the month award or, or a player of the month award or a manager of the month award. It doesn't really excite me. I suppose it's good in a morale way for the team at the stadium, the training and all that. It's good. It's got good aspects to it, but I think, I think fans want, they'd rather have 3 points. I would anyway.
Absolutely. Yeah, for 100%. 100%. Oh my God.
Hey.
Oh, no. Hello? Oh, yeah, Kate. Sure, you can come on the show. Just be good. Don't start any trouble, and I'll be on right away. Guys, we've got a special guest. She phoned in. Here she comes. It's Kate. Just who loves Spurs. What is up, Kate?
Don't start any trouble.
So welcome, right?
What are you trying to say? Don't start any trouble.
Hey, I don't know. We just don't beat any of us up. Jim's told us all the stories, so we gotta be careful. Okay, I've been asking everybody here real quick. We'll just get you in, jump straight into this. Are you surprised at all that the awards were given the way they were given? I know that you had said you thought Watkins might get the award that Sonny got. How surprised are you?
I'm not surprised, but yeah, I thought Ollie Watkins or Jared Bowen might nick it, but he's our captain. He scored a lot of goals. He's played quite decent. So yeah, it doesn't really mean anything, does it? It's not a big deal. So
like Adrian was saying, yeah, exactly. We'd much rather have 3 points or something more quantifiable. But still, I mean, it's nice for the players, it's nice for the manager, and for everybody who was doubting Postecoglou before he came in. I think it's a nice little to those guys, because clearly he's not a joke of a manager. It's not no ambition, I think, having appointed him, like some people were saying. So yeah, I mean, that's the part I'm most excited about is the awards that Postecoglou is winning. I know it's the team doing it for him.
He's made history, isn't he, today? Because he's the first manager to ever win it or something in his first season, 2 in a row.
What is remarkable is we didn't expect to have such a good start as we've had. When he's been with his previous club, he's always faltered a bit to get a start. And the thing that's really impressed me is the fact that we came from a goal behind against Brentford. Then we did it against Burnley and we did it twice against Sheffield United. We ran non-stop to win the game, right? And then we go to Arsenal.
Hi, Bobby.
In that game, we are 2 goals behind, and we come back and we draw the game. Then we play Liverpool, and they could say we got lucky with the last goal. No, but that was an enforced error because we ran non-stop. All right, Bobby, we ran non-stop for 90-odd plus minutes. Now, in the past, when I've seen Spurs teams that have gone on to have success, what I've seen is this winning attitude. Now, if we came back against, say, Brentford and just say Burnley the next game, and then we tailed off, you could say, oh, that was luck. We were lucky to come back. But we've come back 4 times. That's not a fluke, And then we run non-stop and we score, and that's an enforced goal by a match at Liverpool, and we score. This is no fluke. This team's got lots of potential. I'm confident we'll get Champions League football, but I start the season because I'm always optic saying 5th. I think it's possible to get 3rd. I still think Man City will win the league. I still think Liverpool will come 2nd. Then I think we'll battle it out with Arsenal. And we know that Chelsea and Man United, they will recover. We're all laughing because it started poorly, which is good. And we've gained 6 points, 6 huge points against Liverpool and Man United, which we wouldn't normally get. I think we got a draw last year with Liverpool at home. So that is 6 points to add. And that's in the round-robin games of the teams that you expect to be in the top 6 at the end of the season.
We lost at home. We lost 2-1 at home and we lost 4-3 away.
Yeah, and I've tried to explain to people. I said, look, we got 20 points. There's 30 games left. There's 90 points up for grabs, right? Well, on average, since 1992, when the Premier League started, it's an average of 71.5 points to get Champions League football in 4th. But this year it goes to 5th. So parking 5th to one side, 72 points, right? So Spurs would need 52 points to get Champions League football, in theory, right? In case it changes. Sometimes it's below some season, sometimes it's a bit higher. So we're going on the average, 72. Right?
Yeah.
You're in a shit, Bobby K. You're swank from side to side. Right, so
knocking the ball out, Adrian.
52 points. That's 17 wins and a draw, right? But if you get the 52 points, what I want to do is look at it from the opposite angle. Take the 52 points away, right? That leaves 38 points that, in theory, Spurs could lose. Does anyone feel in the way we're going that Spurs are going to lose 12 games, which is 36 points, 36 points? Do you think we're going to lose 12 games? Because I don't.
Let's ask Bobby. Do you think we're gonna lose 13 games?
No, because Adrian just did the math. There's 90 points available. We're on 20, which means we're going to finish with 104 points because 2 more losses. Sorry. Not 104. My bad. It's going to be 100 because there'll be 2 losses and 2 draws in there. So we'll win the league with 100 points. We'll walk through the FA Cup and probably smash whoever it is in the final 6-0. And the double's on.
Only 6.
Yeah, only 6 goals, Bobby.
All right, fine. If you guys are going to get mad at me exaggerating, being too hyped, 5.
Oh no, I love too hype. I'm on the too hype train as well.
That's for you, Jim. That's for you.
Yeah, when our rivals are very nervous and digging us in other podcasts that I've seen and all that, like, and it's driving them a bit crazy because we're top of the league, which is great, isn't it? You know, and when they say, "Oh, you're going to go over a slump, you'll lose, the wheels will come off, you'll get beat 4-0, 5-0," that's not going to happen with the pace at the back. We're seeing how good our defence is. It's one of the best defences in the league, second only to probably Man City's across the board now. Arsenal was good when it's firing, but it hasn't been totally great this season, and neither is their midfield. Even Odegaard isn't the player he was last year, you know. So you look at it like that. But so a slump to me for Spurs would be, say, if we drew 2 games and lost a game, and we only picked up 2 points from 3 games, then all our rivals, your wheels are fell off. You're going to lose you're going to lose. You're not going to get in Europe and all that. But I don't see us going on like a free game losing streak or things like that, you know, to make up them 12 games. I don't see it, but that's because I'm feeling positive, you know. I mean,
and also because we showed that we can come back from a deficit, especially in the dying depths of a match. So like I don't think, you know, if we had shown that we crumbled and fell apart, you know, when things weren't going our way in matches, then maybe I'd be more worried. But But like you said, Adrian, it's
my biggest concern is their front three. Whatever permutation Ange's picked, apart from you could say at Bournemouth we scored 5 away, which is like always fantastic to score 5 goals away. But we haven't had all 3 click on the same day. It hasn't happened. Kulu's had a couple of goals, couple of assists. He's done okay. Sonny's obviously done okay because he's got 6 goals in 8 games. It took him 17 games to get 6 goals last year, right? So it shows what this system do. This is why if Richarlison don't get his 12 to 17 goals this season, he's going to find himself. I know he's going to find himself sold in the summer because not good enough. We don't know how good Son is.
Remember our bet. He's getting 10. We got a 20 pound bet on it.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. We don't know. No, I'm not saying he will, but I'm saying we don't know. And we're on unknown territory with Solomon and who looked good in the away at the Burnley games. Best I've seen him. Solomon looked okay. Surprised me to be picked to play against Arsenal. He had 2 good chances. So I think he'll chip in with some goals as well. But we don't know, do we? And we don't know if with the Basuma ban coming up, who's going to take his place? Will Lo Celso be given a go? He played yesterday. Well, no, he come on very late for Argentina, about the last few minutes. Will he be given a go? Well, I mean, I'm hoping, Ange can get a tune out of him the way he plays when he's not been with us. I say the same for Sessegnon and Gill as well. I think Gill's got a chance now to play on the left because of the injuries. And Ange loves his wingers, though, doesn't he? He does love to play 2 wide wingers. So,
yeah.
We got Porro as an option there too, Adrian. Right, Royal can slot into that spot, so that's a last ditch kind of option if necessary.
Especially if we need to try to get Richarlison scoring, because Porro can put a cross in and place one on his head, which is the only way that he can score goals. Apparently, his feet just don't work.
Not good though. When you miss that sitter at Luton, that is not good.
To be honest, I missed it. I didn't start watching. I didn't find the stream until 5 minutes in, so I missed.
You missed a lot.
Talking about
you missed a lot in that first 5 minutes, buddy.
Yeah,
bummer. I was surfing I was sailing the 7 seas to find a stream, if you know what I mean. And
he did work hard, but he always does that. It's one of his better attributes is work rate. He did work hard throughout that game. Now I'll give him his due on that. If you hadn't missed that sitter, people would be saying, "Oh, he ain't scored." That just took the edge of everything he did. That was good though.
Guys, real quick, I just wanted to throw up some comments here. I'm getting real behind on him. Like I said, Jose is usually handling this. He's way better than me at this part. But Sonny's wife says, and Sonny sat on the bench and rested completely during today's game against Tunisia. Very happy. In Korea won 4-0. Go nice. Korea. And I'm so glad that Sonny got some rest. That's amazing. I didn't think they would rest him. I don't know about you guys, but him being the captain, him being kind of the face of the Korean national team, I fully expected him to play at least 30 minutes today. So the fact that he got a full match off to rest and recuperate, I think is great. We all know that he was carrying maybe like a little niggling injury going into international break. So hopefully he comes back fit and firing. And I mean, he was playing well, obviously in good form. He just got player of the month. But that it's just great that he didn't, further exacerbate the injury. Hopefully it's not something that sticks around. Another comment I wanted to stick up here really quick is, where did it go? Oh, Jim, this stalker, he shows up everywhere. I don't understand, but he says a massive big up to the legend, El Tel Cockerell. Jose, hope you feel better soon, mate. We all do. We all do. So sorry that you're feeling sick, man. But hopefully, like I said, the fam's taking good care of you. You got some chicken noodle soup. You're taking good care of yourself. We got Drula in the house trying to cook and type. Big up. That's not easy to do. She said, Jim said that he would be fucked with one arm trying to do this stuff. We got all kinds of people saying hi to Bobby the goat.
Hey, is that supposed to be a racial thing because we like goats?
Maybe.
Okay.
I think we're good.
I actually don't like goat. K does. I don't like goat.
Drula does not see us losing.
Did you guys hear about the Drula's thing? What she's starting soon?
No, fill us in. What's really going on?
Drula's going to be starting a cooking show, and she's going to call it Drewing Bollocks.
For a second, I believed you. Julie, you should start a cooking show. I'd watch it 100%.
Anytime she talks about a meal she's making, you know, I'm making
that is some good
steak,
merch
that's
right
it.
there, and I got to step up my merch game. Wow, that is phenomenal.
Jimmy,
One of Ben's shirts.
That's beautiful,
Yeah.
Ben. Hey Ben, if you're seeing this, or if
Bobby,
anyone can tell him, that's
beautiful. Bobby, the podcast is not yet monetized, so like you're free to swear. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we can say whatever.
As you mentioned that very popular
to.
B word. I mean, in the UK, it's traditional on a Friday night to go out and get drunk and talk bollocks. Actually, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah. To do that.
if you can afford it nowadays, of course.
Carl Simpson is in the house. He says,
Hi,
"Good
Carl.
afternoon. All good to see you, Carl." I saw the sheriff in here, I think, earlier. Yep, there is. Mark Cousins is here. Big up on the double. Mark Cousins, the man. Good to have you here, buddy. We've got a full house today. We got 18 people watching, which is great. Thank you guys all for being here. Yeah. So we've got an interesting part of the show coming up. Real quick, are you guys ready for a couple of Keeper West Hams so we can keep this thing moving?
Are we doing the Keeper West Ham, Bobby or Ben Kaufman? Who's going to West Ham?
See, exactly. We'll find out. That could be our final. That could be our final one. That's too hard. That's too hard. But guys, here we go. Hey, everybody. Time for Keeper West Ham, the internet's favorite.
Why every time I see that video, I feel like going on putting one of my own dad's VHS videos in.
Exactly. That was the goal.
Down with a bottle of lotion and a box of tissues and just remembering my vivid teenage years.
My wife hates that. Beth hates that video, but I think it's hilarious. She helped me film it.
Funny, man. Oh, it's hilarious.
Thank you so much.
It's pure 90s porn, man. It's awesome.
Yes.
It really is.
Dragging these nuts is here.
Oh man, it's nostalgia, man. It's yeah. Like I say, it brings me to tears, or at least it gives me a reason to get tears.
I'm glad you love it. Dragging these nuts is here all the way from Australia. Good day to you, my man. What time is it in Australia right now? Let us know. I'm just curious. I know you're like 13 hours, I think, off from me. Well, Australia is a huge country, so there's different time zones. But anyway, we got big ups. Carl Simpson says, best intro ever. Beer Talk says, got here just in time, it seems.
Yeah, buddy.
Boom. Nita is in the house. Real quick, just want to say hi to Nita. Hi, all. Hope you're all well.
Hi, Nita.
And Ellie, nice to see you.
Sorry, she's only happy to see Kate. Not me and Adrian. No, we don't get a hello. Nita's only saying hi to Kelly and Ellie.
He said hi all at the beginning. Okay,
Girl code.
Whoa, 2:30 a.m.
Saying hi to everybody in the chat. 2:30
a.m. We got a late night owl here. Thank you for being here. It means a lot that you would come and join us so late. So thanks, guys. Let's get straight into this. So Jose has been picking them for a while, and he's picked some players I don't know. I wanted to get in some players that I did know, maybe make it a little bit, I don't want to say easier for everybody, but you know, maybe. And so it would be good if I had added them in. So 1 second here. Here's the first one, you guys. It's coming up in 2 seconds. I forgot to add it. It is Matters versus Eriksson. And one has to be kept. One's got to go to West Ham. Both similar players, both play a very similar role, albeit a slightly different play style between the two, I would say. But both been huge for us. Eriksson obviously did it for a longer time. Madison just arrived, as you all probably know. But yeah, this is a tough one. I have my answer, and I don't know if it'll be a popular one. But let's hear what you guys got to say. We'll go kind of backwards. We'll start with Bobby K.
Well, it's easier than I thought it'd be. Actually, I would keep Eriksson. You know,
Boom.
He was consistent for us. He took us to a Champions League final. We saw almost success with him at the club, whereas Maddison looked great, but he's 8 games in right now. So I kind of, you can't compare really in terms of numbers what they've done for the club. The only thing that kind of makes me lean towards Maddison is the fact the way Eriksson left. So that's the only knock on his fantastic resume that he built up with us. But that's the thing, Mark. That's the only thing that I kind of don't like about him. But at the end of the day, did we really do enough to motivate him to stay? We didn't do enough to motivate Kane to stay. So I don't blame Eriksson for moving on. We saw it in the documentary that it wasn't about money, that the same money was offered. He just wanted a new challenge, and his wife didn't want to live in England. So, gotta keep the boss lady happy.
And the chat is already. I love the chat has been split on this one. I love it. Dragon These Nuts says keep Mads. Nita says keep Eriksson, but Cousins agrees with you there. Bobby says that Eriksson quit on us and wanted to leave. We'll move on to Kate, and then I'll get through some more of these comments. But Kate, who are you keeping out of these two lovely folks?
Matters all day long, simply because I remember ringing up TalkSport when we got through to the Champions League final, and I said the whole key to this final lies with Eriksson. If he turns up, then we'll win it. And he just down tools for us. He showed no interest the last few games he was with us. And I can't forgive him for that, because whether you want to go or not, you should play with your heart on your sleeve and play for the badge every single game. And he didn't. It was obvious. Whereas Madders, I think he's come in. He's made the most unbelievable impact. He's going to be the signing of the whole window for me. I'd keep Madders and kick Eriksson to the curb, or West Ham.
So So we'll keep going in a row. I like your answer a lot, and I'll get through some more of the comment answers here too. So we've got Todd Spurs saying Maddison keep. Eriksson was great, but I believe Maddison will be better in the long run.
Well, if we're looking at if we're going to do it that way, then Maddison, if you look at 5 years numbers, I think Madison's going to put up much bigger numbers than what Eriksson did in the 5 years with us. So
that's kind of crazy to think about too, because Eriksson's numbers were nuts in those 5 years. Sonny's wife says keep Eriksson. Eriksson can go to West Ham for Carl. Maddison hasn't even reached the ceiling yet. Huindongi says gotta keep both. So yeah, I mean that's that. Sorry, I'm just answering a thing real quick. But yeah, so that is not an option though. Huindongi, you've gotta send one has to go to West Ham. They have to. Just the rules. I don't make the rules, except I did. Nita here says keep Eriksson. Let's go, Adrian. What do you got to say on this one?
I would keep Eriksson.
Yeah,
because what he done, I know it was unsatisfactory when he left the club, but just for what he gave us, his assists, the goals he scored, we can all remember assists. We can always remember the goal he scored away at Chelsea in the 3-1 in the roof of the net. I mean, he did so much for us. If you go down the personality route of how he left and all that, then you're gonna dislike him for the wrong reason. You've got to do it on what he did for the club. And at the moment, I'm loving James Maddison, but it's only 8 games. I can't keep Maddison on 8 games when Eriksson's proved it over a much longer period of time for us. You're on mute.
Well, that's not good. But that makes 100% sense. I get you guys completely. And it is hard to judge somebody, like on 8 games versus 5 years with the club. I just like their play style. I think that Maddison's more aggressive, and I think that's going to end up doing him good. We all saw Eriksson pull out of challenges and shy away from tackles. That's not something we're going to see from Maddison, I don't think. But Ellie, we have yet to hear your answer.
Yeah, you know what? It's such a tough one because, like Adrian said, it's 8 games in. But I just like Maddison. I think he's fabulous. Even though Eriksson's played for us a lot longer, and he's done so many good goals and assists, and free kicks went a bit dry though, and the way he left as well. I've got to vote for Maddison because he's not just been with us. He's been with Leicester and he's played fabulous for them as well. So I'm going to go for Maddison. And I think his ceiling is higher as well, because I think there's a little bit more about his game. Like you said, he's got a bit more aggression. And I think he's combining with Basuma so well. I just love him. I love his aura as well. You know, he's such a happy chappy and he's got a bit of a joker inside him as well. So I'm going to vote for Maddison and send Eriksen to West Ham, or West Bam as they're known.
I like the fact that Eriksen didn't have any shithouse about him. You know what I mean? He didn't have any. He never riled up opposition fans. He never looked like he got riled up himself, even. So that's what I like better about Eriksen. We'll get through some of these comments real quick. We've got a special guest in the back helping me with comments secretly on the sly. You guys probably can guess who it is, but I'll keep it a secret. We've got this here. It's the Patreon link for this channel. If you like what you see, if you would like to help kind of, keep the lights on, help us improve the channel, there's a Patreon link right there. Feel free to click that and just hop on and see. There's a couple of different memberships starting from $2. I think the most expensive one is $6. They all come with cool stuff. Check them out. We've got 2 patrons. We've got Chris Peters and Wayne Bonner. I just wanted to say big up and thank you to you guys. True love, supporting the channel for a long, long time. Love those guys. Big ups. Hope you're both well. Back to the show. NA Beer Talk says keep Maddison. Mark Cousins says the Danish lawnmower. I'm not sure I've ever heard that expression before. What? What is?
I've never heard that before either.
Being sure it wasn't a Britishism that I didn't understand.
No, it's a Marxism.
Drula though agrees with what you said, Kate. And then also everybody smash the like, help the algorithm, post comments, they will be read, interact with the panel. If it's your flavor, then subscribe and the notification bell will tell you when we're on. Boom, boom, boom. Also, Eriksen had the best striker in the world to play with, and Maddison has got Richie. That's a really good point. Just think about man, if we had Maddison and Kane together, can you imagine? That'd be filth. It would be absolutely filthy. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Jacob, I feel like Jacob's here with us. Nita says, though, over many years, our midfielders either leave or get poached, and we have had some of the best. That's a really good point. Nick Brown's made a choice. He says, okay, keep Matters. He's the future. And then we also want to say sub to Kate at Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs. Want to thank her for being here. She is wonderful. Thank you for joining us. We've had little mix up with mixing it up with the guests and who's on today. And Kate has come on to help Phil and make this a wonderful show. So Kate, thank you. I appreciate you. You're an awesome person. So please go and subscribe to her channel. It is there. Hold on, we got a better link for it right here. So https://youtube.com/@justagirlwholoves_Spurs. You should be able to click on that. That one should work. So go check it out. And also Bobby K is here and he's got a channel. Go subscribe to Bobby K. 3 Spurs Boys.
3 Spurs Boys.
3 Spurs Boys. Yes, and they got some FIFA content coming out. EA, whatever, FC, whatever the game's called these days. But yeah, everybody go check him out. All kinds of content over on his channel, and it's good stuff. And Kate's got a new show too. Wedded Bliss. That's the name of it, right?
Yeah.
Check it out Wednesdays. What time?
1 o'clock UK time.
1 o'clock UK time. Everybody, check them out, please. Please. Great show. Great show.
Renamed Wedded Hiss.
Yeah, it could be.
or Divorce Light.
This week is
Are you guys ready for number 2, the second and final keeper West Ham for the day?
Fell off the toilet.
No worries, you guys. So we've got Ellie. Be safe. Don't fall off the toilet. You got to have one of those bars to grab. Those help sometimes. No, I'm playing with you. Okay. So this next one we've got here might be a little harder. It's a little different. These 2 players don't play quite exactly the same position. One of them, I think, you could say was more successful for the club, but the other one is one of our own and hasn't reached his ceiling quite yet. We've got Sandro versus Skippy, and they both play kind of that. I don't want to say defensive midfielder exactly, but kind of defensive midfield position. That kind of holding player. You've got Sandro, though, a cult classic, everybody, a lot of people's favorite player from back in that time. He was the karate, the kung fu man. Couldn't get past him. If he hadn't had injury problems, I don't think he's that old right now anyway, but he's in his 30s. But then we've got Skip, who looks like he's in his 30s, but he's not. He is stuck firmly in his 20s. Yeah, this is a tough one. This is a tough one here. And I wanted to we'll go backwards here, and we'll start with Ellie on this one. Ellie, out of the two fellas, who do you keep?
It's not tough for me because I absolutely adored Sandro, and before his injury, he was fabulous. He's such a good player, winning the ball back, terrorising defences, running at scored a fantastic goal one day. I think it was from about 30 yards out. I just think he's got a better ceiling than Skip. Skip sort of flatters to deceive. He's not a flashy player. He'll do the, the nitty gritty, but he just hasn't got enough oomph for me or enough skill for me to put him over Sandro. I think Sandro had more technical skill as well.
Wow,
yeah. Just more powerful as well. Harder to win the ball back from him. It's just all round. He was a better player than Skip.
And that Brazilian player.
I'm afraid. The Queen Ellie's sending you to West Ham.
Sorry, Skippy. Oh yeah, and by the way, judging by the votes, it looks like James Maddison went to West Ham last time too. So it was tough. It was very close, but James Maddison, it looks like is going to West Ham. It was nice to have you for 8 games, buddy. Hope you like it at West Ham. Christian Eriksen is back in his prime at Spurs. But Nick Brown says Sandro, top Spurs easy. Keep Sandro. This is our co-host, my usual co-host here, saying Sandro all day, every day. We'll go ahead and we'll continue. I'll get through these comments, but I want to go over to Adrian Stroka. Mr. Adrian, who are you going to pick, bud?
I'm keeping Sandro. I don't know if Ellie's goal was the one he scored against Man United. That was a screamer.
Yeah.
I'm keeping him. He had better stats than Scotty Parker when people were raving about Scott Parker. He had better stats than him, defensive stats and all that. Injuries hindered him. Even he said he regretted going to QPR from Spurs. Right. With Skippy, though, I have sympathy with him because he did so well at Norwich on loan. He was really showing what he could do. And then under Conte, like other players like Basuma, his game just dipped a bit. And I've always thought Skippy's got a higher ceiling. I don't know what it is because we haven't seen it yet. But I think he's got a higher ceiling. He'll be kept because he's homegrown anyway, right? So I'm hoping he's got a higher ceiling. He's homegrown. So I think there's more to come from him. I did see in a couple of games, I see Skip do a couple of them reverse twist turns that Basuma did. And that pricked my ears up a bit because I thought, I want to see some more of that, reverse turns from you. Not just anything, not you just patrolling in front of the penalty area. He has got a forward pass on him. He doesn't use it enough. And I think a lot of players have been frightened to express themselves because they were stifled under Conte. So I'm still sending him to West Ham, but I'm hopeful Skip will come back because fans were raving about him at one stage, And when he was paired with Bentancur, obviously, Højbjerg and Bentancur, Højbjerg and Skip played the best football when they had Bentancur beside them anyway, I thought so. But, yeah, so sorry, Skippy. Although I like you, I hope you got a bigger ceiling sending you to West Ham.
Hey, Fitzy.
Yep. So have fun at West Ham so far. Skippy. So next we will go to Kate. Out of those two players, these guys right here, who are you keeping? It seems to be I make these too easy. We need Jose back in here to get a hard one going.
So easy. I'd rather have Skippy the bush kangaroo than Oliver Skip all day long. So I'm keeping Sandro. He's an absolute savage beast. He was. I miss him. I loved Sandro. He's my type of player. He's fierce. Like Ellie said, he absolutely scared the crap out of people. He was just an absolute warrior. Skip, oh my God, don't. He should be playing in the Championship. Not good enough at all.
Yeah.
So for me, it was the easiest decision ever. I think he's even not good enough for West Ham. I'm going to put that out there.
Wow.
So I would send him to Kettering Town.
Do you remember how much love he was getting? And after he came back from Norwich, it was
not for me.
The future of our midfield, and we've got our center midfielder for the next 10 years, and there was so much talk about him.
But then he caught Winkitis.
Yeah, Winks is gone, so hopefully he can get over that soon, because Winks is gone. He's been gone, so hopefully. Well, there we go. Here we all are. But yeah, so everyone in the comments is pretty much agreeing. Tough one, but probably keep Sandro, says Dragon These Nuts. Mark Cousins says Sandro legendary almost, for sure. Carl Simpson says Skip is overhyped in his opinion, so he says we keep Sandro. Drula, Sandro. Nita, Sandro. Adrian, who are you keeping, bub?
I said, didn't I, gave you a rendition of, I said I'd send Skip to West Ham. But
the only one I've not heard is Bobby, but he's on the phone, I think.
I want to see. I want to see more from him. He will get game time, but when Bentancur's fit, you struggle to see where he's going to get game time. Højbjerg looks like he will go because he'll get. The thing is, with a lot of our players, when people say they're worried about bringing players in, it doesn't worry me so much because of the way what Ange does with his substitutions. He will give players half hour that are on the bench. So. And if he does that, you can sort of keep the squad happy, because if they really impress in that half hour, it's a third of the game, then they give the manager a nice headache.
For sure. Yeah, that's a very good point. And it's not like he'll be completely rusty. He will be getting minutes off the bench, especially after Højbjerg it looks to be leaving. Jim though says that he loved Sandro, never pulled out of a tackle. The man was a mountain of a footballer. Yeah, I'm sure that we'd all agree. Yeah, he was our beast, Sandro the Beast.
He got injured.
It was knees for him, right? It was knee injuries, if I'm not mistaken. His knees just kind of went. So we've got Jose in the chat, everybody. It's Jose. He's here. He says the first one is a close one, as Eriksson gave us 7 years of service over Madison's 8 games. Tough one to call, but he's keeping Madison. Love it. NA Beer Talk says keep Sandro, and Jim says that's a sin to send Madison to wet spam. I know, and Kate says she demands a recount. We'll do a recount. We need a recount.
He hasn't played 8 games in football, has he? He's been at Leicester and he was.
That's so true.
So he's played. I think he played in Scotland as well for a little while.
Yeah, he had over there. You were right. Ellie, we've got Sheriff over here saying we want a VAR check on the Madison result. I want to know, is that Jurgen Klopp on his account? Is that? I think that might be Jurgen Klopp using Mark Cousins' account right now. Bobby K, though, I see that you're back. Big love to Bobby K.
Sorry about that.
Let's get Bobby K on the screen real quick. Let's do this. I love to do this to people. It's Bobby K.
Oh shit! I just realized I'm wearing red.
Oh, that's orange. You're fine.
Sorry, is that orange?
Is it orange? Okay.
Yeah,
I'll keep it on because it's freaking cold.
You can wear it because it's a Dutch colour.
I'm cold too.
I've got VDV now.
I've got a Christmas sweater on.
We're wearing pastels, Bobby. We're coordinating.
That's acceptable, though. That's acceptable.
And
you've got Teddy Sheringham hanging up
the top rows all got fall colors now: brown, orange, and yellow. That's nice.
Yeah, I know you should change that picture, Kate.
Yes.
Just to make me jealous, Adrian.
Oh, right. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So, Bobby, we haven't heard your answer for this second.
You have all them girlfriends on Pornhub.
Look, Ellie matches again. Perfect. This is great. The top row, y'all look very fall, and I like it. Very autumn. So, Bobby,
speaking of fall, how's Jim's arm?
Yeah, hey.
I'm not. I'm just doing
she's giving you the finger. You just can't see it. There you go. Bobby,
thanks.
though, we
You're
need
number one too.
double finger. Oh my God, Bobby,
Yeah,
though,
for me it's
an answer from
Sandro.
you.
I just don't,
Skippy doesn't get you out of your seat.
Enough out of Skip to make me think that he's going to cut it. But Sandro, until he took up that nasty injury, he was great for us, I think. And his attitude, his demeanor, just everything. He was just a likable guy.
Oh yeah, and he loved Spurs. You could tell he just absolutely adored being here.
Even
that
now,
goes a long way for me.
When he talks, anybody asks him about Tottenham or anything, he speaks about his fondest memories and whatnot and everything. He's just exactly, Chris, just absolutely adored the guy.
He used to always make time after the match to talk to the fans as well. Always. Yeah. My uncle met him a couple of times after the games. He's just a top bloke. I just love him.
Yeah,
awesome.
And his karate videos were brilliant.
I taught him everything he knows.
Oh, we have somebody in the chat that I've never seen. We have somebody in the chat that I've never seen in the chat on my show ever. Our show. This is Jose and I's show. But anyway, it's Alex, Mr. Box Office TV with Alex Tottenham Hotspur FC.
I'll send him the link.
Yes, he says Kulu is not a good player at all. Give 5 minutes and the rest is like watching Iron Man 2 boring. Hey, I didn't think Iron Man 2 was that bad. First of all, first and foremost.
Oh no.
Yeah, Alex.
Second.
Iron Man 3, then okay, that's a different story. That was
right.
crap.
That one sucked. But Iron Man 2, that's a decent flick. But Kate's surely going to be on your side here. So we've got one supporter for Alex. But
as well.
But Kulu he's got a role to play in the squad. I think he plays it well. He is asked to do certain things and he does them. He's got a skill set. He uses it. I know that he's not Diaz from Liverpool, who everybody wanted instead. He's got a different game. He I don't know. He's got a skill set. He plays to it. I think that's all we can really ask of him. But big up to our chatters: Sunny Wife, Drula, Tot Spurs, Jim, Carl Simpson, Nick Brown, Beer Talk, Nita, Mark Cousins, Dragon Knees Nuts, Johnny Fitz, Chris Peters, Daniel E, and Mr. Box Office. Again, Mr. Box Office, big love. Glad to have you here in Asking the Potato. Big love for you guys. Big love. And also, the link's out there. If anybody, if Box Office, if you want to come on. But quick question from Ask the Potato: is Skip the worst homegrown player to play for Spurs?
No.
Definitely not. But I think maybe in the past, maybe in recent times, you could say that he's the worst homegrown.
Why? When you got Harry Winks that we just shipped out, how can you even compare?
No. Harry Winks had at least one good match. I haven't seen Skip.
We got Adrian and Ellie here that have a big history and a lot of knowledge regarding some of the older players. And me and Kate are the young generation, of course, right?
Yeah.
We're all in the young generation. Yeah.
I'm sure that they can drop a list. Adrian's just an encyclopedia down there. I'm sure.
Well, he's got a special segment coming today with that as well.
I wasn't a fan of Jake Livermore or Ryan Mason.
Yeah,
I pretty bog standard footballers.
Livermore was awful.
Livermore rubbish.
Yeah, okay.
Just so happens, girls, that I trained with Livermore's dad for ages. He was British powerlifting champion. I never met Jake, funny enough, because Jake, right? I stopped training with Jimmy and moved on from the gym before Jake was even born. But I know his dad very well indeed, right? And I only see a glimpse of Jake in that European game. He looked okay, but obviously, if the club had thought he was good enough for what they wanted, they would have kept him, but they didn't. He left with Huddleston. He's now at Watford. Jake is probably finished his career at Watford now. So I'm not going to say anything bad about Jake because I know the family, right? And
somebody's cracking like crazy. Is that you, Ellie?
That's Ellie.
I've got great respect for my legs, and I want to keep them, right? So
Okay, see you in a minute, Ellie. I muted her. She can unmute when she's ready. I muted you, Ellie, but when you're ready, feel free to unmute. But guys, Sunny Wife said sorry, Skip. Hope he doesn't watch this show. I hope he's got better things to do, to be completely honest. But if he is watching, sorry, Skippy. No,
you're comparing him to a player that was loved by a lot of the fan base and was a decent player. So it's not like you're sitting here comparing him to like Ellie said, Ryan Mason or other players
Harry Winks.
were Winks even where he should sit here and say, hold on, I am better than him. You're comparing him to a good player. So it's not like he's being slighted because we dislike him. We're just saying that Sandro, if given the choice, then he was the preference, really. And nothing wrong with being second to Sandro, man.
No, I mean, he made it through to the first team. You think of over all the generations, how many players didn't make it through to the first team?
Good point, Adrian.
It's just too many to even mention, So I mean,
if the championship is his level, like it turns out kind of looks like it is for Winks, we need to get him a move. We need to get him a move. I feel like he needs to be playing. He needs to be playing football. He's got yes, Ellie's back. He's got it in him to be a good footballer for some level, and I think we need to get him there so he can play and do the thing he loves. Dang, this is my co-host has so many. He's just killing it today. Jose, behind the scenes, big love. Hope you are feeling better, my guy. Says please support the channel to keep Colin's lights on. Patreon.com/talkabout. I always hate doing that. I'm so embarrassed by it. But thank you guys. And if anybody wants to do that, go for it. We've got a lot of people doing big.
I'm just gonna let my pussy out.
We got to. This is a good thing this show isn't for kids.
Yeah, kids. Yeah, that was Auntie Ellie. Yeah, kids, that was Auntie Ellie. She's gonna let her pussy out. No, Theo, she's not in the room.
A big thank you to our current patrons, though, Wayne Bonner and Chris Peters. Chris Peters said, "Hey, call. We'll try to sort you out soon." And the wife out with the sweets. Yeah, Chris Peters is sending me some cool stuff, guys. Be ready. The set's about to look even better. But yeah,
I got a package on the way too.
We don't want to know about your package.
Yeah, well, it's from her. So it might be dodgy.
Colin, give Jacob the link. Get Jacob on. Balance it out.
Jacob, if you want to come on, bud. I know that you've probably been family things, but there's the link in case you would like it.
Jacob, you need to put your child to bed so we can play some video games as soon as this is done, buddy.
Hey, but everybody is saying, "Hey, I love how much love there is in the chat right now." Ask the Potato says, "Winks and Skippy, there is no difference. They're both poor, but Skip has something to show this season to Ange. If not, I think he needs to be sold." But like Adrian was saying, since he's homegrown, I highly doubt that he'll be sold.
No.
But like Adrian has also been saying, though, Sarr is going to count as homegrown next year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So Adrian, actually,
sell him. We can sell him and bring back Divine from Port Vale. That'll do it.
No, don't worry, Ellie. We're going to get rid of Højbjerg. Adrian, how does that work with the homegrown thing again?
Yeah,
it works because it works with Sarr. Because
no. I'm just curious. Is it a certain after you have to sign them before a certain age, and then they have to be registered with the club?
If you sign a foreign youngster, and he's with your club, no matter if you loan him out to any club in Europe or whatever, if you sign him and he's with you for 3 years before his 21st birthday, he counts as homegrown. So Sarr will count as homegrown now
3 years in the
club.
With
Madison, Skip, and Phillips, that'll give us 4. We need more. We had 6 under Poch, didn't we? Because you had Kane, Kelly, Dyer in midfield, with Winks. And then you had Rose and Walker, didn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, we need to up this homegrown period. Like the reason I think Skip will be with us a bit longer is because come January and all that, we'll start having games. We won't be having 1 game a week. We're probably having 2 or 1 every 4 days or something like that. So
no, I was just curious as what the numbers are. So you're saying before the age of 21, they have to have 3 years registered with the club.
3 years with the club.
Okay, thank you.
And that's all right.
No, I knew. I just didn't know the exact numbers. That's why, and I know we were talking about it last night in my video, and I just wasn't 100% sure. And I was like, I know that you're talking about it. I know you'll know the proper answer. So
then you have to register 8.
Sorry?
So you have to register 8 homegrown.
8. Okay.
The registration, once you get to January transfer window, it all stops again. After window, you have to register your players again, the squad again with the Premier League.
Oh, okay.
Because you'll be adding players, you see. That's
Yeah,
why
yeah.
teams this year. So like, hopefully we'll be adding at least 2. Right? Yes, but yeah, so that will all change then.
Nice.
So everybody, Jacob said that he is about to do his son's speech therapy, or he would join. Big up to Big Jacob and Little Jacob. Hope everybody in the family as well. Hope your lovely wife is
Little Jacob. He's a cutie pie.
Oh,
I love him to bits. And hey, I hope your lovely wife is doing well. And
yes,
you know, and the little bean in there is growing and healthy. Love you guys.
That's Beanie Jacob. Well, we got Jacob, Little Jacob, Beanie Jacob.
Yep, exactly. I like it. Jacob the third, and they're all in the same family. Love it. Love that idea. But yeah, I believe Jacob is on later, everybody. So check out his channel, United Spurs of America. There's some good stuff coming. Miss Ellie, are you close to being ready for your new segment? What till she comes back? I think she's gone. So Ellie's got her own segment on the show now, everybody. Ellie.
I was gonna say, I saw the closet door open behind her, man. We got to check for Bangelas.
It was Angela.
It was Angela.
Yeah, she's shouting, man. I don't know why she's shouting.
Probably she's behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! You have to put your
Ellie,
up.
we've heard you've got some special stories for us today. Maybe we could break out some stories about Spurs past and some Spurs women's stories. You got anything we can think?
Well, some locker room one. Oh, can we ask a question about? Can we ask direct questions, or are we just gonna let Ellie tell a story?
We're gonna ask direct questions, but first we gotta play.
So Ellie,
we gotta play the new intro. It ends kind of abruptly. I got to work on that. But that is the intro to Ellie's new segment, and it is called Spurs Ladies Are Us. I just need to find the banner. But Ellie, how is it going? And we are ready for you. But Bobby, did you have a question for Ellie? You could go ahead.
No, let Ellie go first, and then we'll ask her a question. If she's got a little starting, let her do her monologue there.
Let's do it.
Right, of course. Then we'll lead into questions.
I think most people know that I was born and bred in Tottenham. I'm a Tottenham girl through and through. I went to Drayton School in Tottenham, and I was spotted there by Spurs Ladies Scouts. And they weren't even affiliated to the club at that time, which was a bit of a shame. We did try hard to get the affiliation. They saw me at 12 years old playing in the boys' team at Drayton School because I was better than the boys, really. Right. I was a central midfielder, central attacking midfielder. The only thing I would say that really was a bit tough early doors, I couldn't really cope with it, was all the abuse we got as young girls. Because in those days, even those days, football wasn't seen as a girls' game as such. Yeah, I mean, girls were playing it in the 1800s, for God's sake, you know. But it was like a little bit of a blight. But you know what? We got over it. I was going home crying to my mum most times, or my dad if he was around, because he was always away, my dad. But when they were really good support for me, my family, and we had some fabulous games. By the time I was 15, I'd really broken into the first team, which was really good. But I was so nervous on my first game. It was against Leeds United ladies, right? And it was actually a friendly that we arranged near my school. I don't know if you know Hackney Downs at all. Anybody? I think Adrian does. Yeah, it's a bit of a mud bath. Not very nice to play on. But my abiding memory is scoring a screecher from 22 yards out, right into the top corner on my debut. So I was really happy with that. And do you know what? Throughout my career, we had some splendid games. You know, it was very tough because we weren't recognised as a football team by Tottenham Hotspur. And then 1985 came and Broxbourne Ladies merged in to what is now Tottenham Hotspur Women. And there was a lady called Kay who ran it with Sue Sharples, I think her name was. Yeah, and do you know what? The main thing is we all enjoyed our football, and we went to a lot of places. Also, I was due to go over to Italy for a big tournament, and my father didn't let me go.
Oh no!
Yeah, he didn't let me go. He said there's too many Italian boys over there. Yeah, but I enjoyed my career really. Like pulling on that white shirt.
I bet. I can't imagine.
What, you can't be more prouder than that, to pull on your shirt and play for the Spurs, but I've got quite a lot of injuries, which I'm still carrying to this day. I hobble around most days, but you know what, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, I enjoyed my football and it was so good. And the camaraderie you have going to away matches as well, on the bus.
I bet, yeah. Do you still have some homies from back then?
Everybody's been there, haven't they? Everybody who's played football has been there. Either you drive yourself if you're a little bit older, or you go on the team bus. We didn't have a lot of money in those days. We had to rely on a lot of sponsorship. Even my school threw in some money to help us along. We used to train at Somerset School. I don't know if you know that school, Adrian, being from Edmonton. Somerset School, and then we used to go over to the Rec to do some circuit training, which is, it's really essential to be super fit in football. But with girls' football, we used to play 40 minutes, so you had to be fit. But now they've pushed it to 90 minutes. These girls now, I've been to a couple of training sessions on behalf of her game too, and they really train properly, like the fellas do. They work on their muscles, because like I said last time, there's a lot of ACL injuries in the women's game, 6 times more likely to suffer an ACL injury, so they're working on that. But the training is immense compared to what I used to do. It's totally different, and they're super fit, these girls, super fit. I'm not saying we weren't, but these girls are top notch, especially the girl that Bobby likes, Jelena Sadowski. She's built, right? She's very tall, 5'10", 5'11", I think, and she stands out in the physicality of her game. She's just coming back from injury as well, which I think you're going to see the best of her this year. Yeah, so look out for her, Bobby. Yeah.
Hey, absolutely. That was wonderful. And Bobby had a question for you, it looks like. I believe, right, Bobby?
Yeah, I'm always looking out for her. And by chance, Selena, if you're looking out for me, I'm happily married. It's not that I like you, but I would let you do bad things to me. Just saying.
Ellie, thank you for that glimpse into your life.
You kind of led into my crush there on the being the Canadian player on the Spurs women's team there. So basically, first off, I need to know how was it, when you started? Because I know we've talked about this before, and we know how hard it was. You going into women's football when it was completely disrespected. You were treated like crap, basically, laughed off the pitch. How do you feel now, seeing the growth of the game and where it's come now, especially in the last, I would say, 5 years? There's been a significant growth in the women's game. I know you are really positive about supporting women's football and pushing the agenda out there and letting people know that the quality is there. I myself have seen the quality go up. I'm sure all of us that enjoy football and appreciate football have seen it. I love watching the Dutch women's team play. I think they're phenomenal. That one girl there, Van de Donk, just absolutely adore her. But do you feel that the game itself will continue to evolve? Do you think it'll ever reach the heights that the men's game is at, like in terms of just sheer promotion, backing, exposure around the world?
Yeah, we're getting there. There's lots of work being done in the back scenes and by major organisations, especially by Her Game Too. I have to big them up because they're doing some fabulous work, not just promoting the girls' game, but protecting the girls as well. But not just the players, the officials and the fans who go to watch as well, because, you know, they need protecting as well. But the officials, they do get it as well. But, you know, normally a referee gets bombarded, doesn't he, if he's not performing well. It's the same in the women's game. But I just feel that with this World Cup that's just gone, you see the standard of football is very, very good. And the final, although England didn't play to their potential, it was a very good final. And throughout the tournament, we saw some splendid goals, you know, and we saw some really great young talent, you know, especially there was one girl, well, Lauren James was fabulous for England until she done that silly sort of David Beckham thing. She had a David Beckham moment. There was other players like Jenny Hermoso of Spain. There was
Marta with Brazil.
Yeah, and then there was that Haiti girl.
Canada.
Yeah.
Hey, I hate to interrupt, but I wanted to get Who's News' comment up real quick and ask you about it before we got too far away and I forgot. So Who's News, who I've never seen in here, big up Who's News, says first player ever scouted was Julie Fleeting. Does that name mean anything to you? I'm gonna Google it.
No, it doesn't. But that doesn't mean she's not a good player. It's just that I should know her. Maybe
Scottish former soccer player, football player for everybody here. Played as a forward. She was born in 1980. Whoa, December 18th. That's one day before my birthday.
Wow.
So good job for her, for Julie Fleeting. But that's awesome. Who's News? I didn't know that you did scouting. For one, I didn't know who you were. Thanks for being here. We appreciate having you here. She got the ball, took everyone on, and scored over and over again. Yeah, according to the quick Google I did, she was quite the player. Probably nothing compared to our Ellie here. Ellie, there were some very nice comments here up to you too, or up about you too.
Good players nowadays. But
calling
my
you
player,
Luka Modric.
My favourite player who's not
Ash
Spurs is Lauren James. I think she's
I thought you were
incredible.
going to say Ash Neville. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any old videos of yourself in your playing days or anything? Pictures?
My dad had some, but we never put them onto. I've got to transfer them onto a proper disc. Yeah. You know, or transfer them because
we should put that together. It'd be great to have a look back at Ellie's playing days. I think a lot of people in the community would love to see that.
Yeah, I'll send them.
Boys get a big kick out of it.
Technical and can do it, you know, I'll send them to them.
Yeah, let me know. I'd love to put it together.
I've got loads of pictures in my scrapbook.
Cool. Yeah, please do. Please send them to me. And then real quick, what does it say? Smash the like button if you can. And
smash that like button, yeah.
But Ellie, no, please get us those photos. We would absolutely love to.
I'll send them over.
That's going to be phenomenally cool. It's just really neat to have the perspective of somebody who's been there, you know, who's been there and done it. Chris Peters, though, is in the house. Already saw you, Chris Peters. What up? He says he worked with Rachel Yankee's cousin at Whips Cross Hospital. Also, Joe Cole's mother-in-law. That's pretty cool. Wow. You've kind of rubbed shoulders with some people. Yeah, that's awesome. Question for Ellie: are you recognized now that you play, or that you were a Spurs player? As I know you're a Spurs ambassador. Does anybody say?
When I go to Spurs, they usually know me from the Irish Hotspur.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they go, you're Ellie from the Irish Hotspur. They usually say, but now I want them to say, you're Ellie from Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs. That's what I want them to say.
Boom. Yes. Hey, Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs is a wonderful channel. Everybody, again, subscribe. Let me throw that link up there for anybody. You know, we've got a nice link for everyone to get over there easily. But yeah, Ellie, that's some awesome. So you told us about the goal that you scored in that friendly. Was that your favorite goal that you ever scored?
I think it was my most memorable goal. I did score some really good goals, but do you know what? I preferred laying off goals and letting other players score. You know,
you were the assist maker.
Yeah, our striker was Brenda McKenzie. She was brilliant. Jamaican girl, fast as lightning and strong as a ball. She's brilliant. She was a bit like Beth England is now. You know, Beth England is our striker. She's out because she's had a hip problem. So she sorted that out and she's on her way back now. She was very, very similar to her, you know. But you know what? It's, the main thing is that you enjoy your football. You can play at a higher level, right? You can play at a higher level because we were in the old, well, it was classed as the second division, but it was the first division as it is now. Yeah. So we did get promoted, but the thing is, in those days, it wasn't an organised league like it is now because you've got the WSL now and it's so organised. Even like, you know, Chris Cowling, he goes to watch the Spurs ladies quite often. And I think it's organised from the press room to the party afterwards, you know, where you have like the press conference. It's so much more organised. It's leaning towards the way the men do it, you know.
Awesome. So yeah, as
it's very good to see that, you know. It's very good to see that the women's game is getting a lot more notoriety as well.
Yeah, I can't believe it's taken this long. It's kind of disgusting that it's taken this long and that we're still at the level that we are and things aren't more. There's not more parity. Who's New says first day at secondary. I saw someone cracking an overhead kick on the concrete. She had short hair, so I mistook her for a boy. LOL. Yeah.
Yeah, I
can't believe that on the concrete. It sounds rough. The commitment to that overhead kick was very high.
It hurts.
Chris Peters said that he was also at school with Paul Allen. He was a few years older, but everyone could see how good he was. And I hear about that about a lot of players. You know, I remember there are stories about Gareth Bale only being able to play with his weak foot when they played at school, like in you know, because he was just so much better than everybody else. So yeah, you can see it from a young age with these guys. Absolutely. Just like Ellie, just like everybody was able to scout Ellie and pick her out.
That Allen family was very connected with Spurs as well, because you had Les Allen, Clive Allen, Paul Allen. I think there's one that was QPR as well. Bradley Allen, was it? Bradley Allen? Yeah. So
Jim says that's a name he hasn't heard in a long time. Yeah, Chris Peters knows his history. Chris Peters is on it. And I want to say again, big up to Chris. Good to have you here, my guy. Thank you again for your contributions to the channel and just for being a good dude. But yeah, Ellie. So the Spurs women, we know that. When do they play again next?
They play again Brighton. They've got Brighton next away, and we slammed them 8-0 last season. So come on.
Hopefully it's a repeat.
They're not quite as good as, mind you, they have made progress because last season they just finished slightly above us because we had an awful season last season. But I just watched our 6-0 win against Reading, and it's like chalk and cheese the way we're playing. It's like we're so progressive with the ball. And like I said, I gave a shout out to Rosella Ayan because she was fabulous in the match. You know, she's a very good winger. Yeah.
Who is the
midfielder as well?
Who's the loanee that you said that we had?
That's late. Oh, I've forgotten her bloody name now. It's the Chinese girl.
Yeah. You said that she had a lot of promise too. She ended up scoring in that game against.
Yeah, she scored our first goal. She's only about 4'11", 4'10", something like that. But she's so quick, and people don't notice her in the box.
That's probably why she thrives.
I love the way Ellie said that she's so small. She's like 4'11". Meanwhile, Ellie's like 5 foot.
No, I'm taller than that. I'm 5'5" in my heels.
In your 8-inch heels, yeah.
Yeah. I come from a very short family.
I do too. I'm 5'10". If anybody wants to know, I'm not a tall guy. But
Kate's
everyone.
very tall.
Who is?
Kate's very tall.
Kate, how tall are you?
Tall. She'll be a good centre half.
Well, I used to be 5'11", but now I'm about 5'9.5".
It's weird how you shrink. People do that. It happens. It really does.
My sister's 6 foot, so.
Whoa! I wish I was 6 foot. That's the height guy wants to be. Every guy wants to be 6 foot, but it just doesn't happen for all of us. Okay, so we've talked about the women's team. I feel like we're fairly caught up with life in the women's team right now and what's going on. We know about the next match.
Very well.
We've got to know a bit about Ellie, which is very important. Like I said, I love building a family and us all getting to know more about each other and getting to know more. And so in that kind of same vein, we have another special segment, and this one is led by our own Adrian Sroka. And let me get prepared for him. But he's got a show called what shoe sizes are? Oh, what shoe sizes? That's hilarious. Yep. So Kate, yeah, what's your shoe size? What shoe size you got? And
I'm a 6. I'm a 6.
Small feet for a tall lady.
I was gonna say I'm a 13 and I'm only 5'10". My feet are like clown feet.
Wow.
My sister's an 8, I think. So
yeah, you have small feet for being so tall. That's like those are fairly small feet.
Long legs right up to my bottom.
I remember once, Kate, you said that you were very proud of your feet. You love your feet.
My feet. They're the only part of my body I like.
So everybody,
and your pussy.
This one.
So, hey, I don't know. You're allowed to like them both. Everybody here, I told you he's just going to be a little cuddle bug, a little kind of.
Colin, in your honour, he's called Ralph Colin Boxall. That's his middle name, Colin.
I love it. Yes, big love, big up. That's amazing. So real quick, we've got Jose asking what our shoe sizes are. I'm a 13. Ellie, what about you?
I'm a 6.
Bobby K.
11.
Bloody hell,
and Adrian, what about you, bub?
8.
Adrian's got small feet.
You know what they say about small feet?
Yeah.
No, exactly. So we have got something very special though for you guys, and I hope you are ready. Let me get this comment out of here so we can get the full. So I need to add music to this, but we have something special coming up. It is Adrian's show or Adrian's segment, and here it goes.
Adrian. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Spurs. You're gonna Wembley. Things are gonna tremble.
Come on, you Spurs. I know I need to get music added to this, but it's Spurs Historical Perspective with Adrian, our in-house Spurs historian. Well, that didn't come out right.
Can't see your cock.
Adrian,
Right.
my man.
Right.
Spurs Historical Perspective, and I know you want to educate us a bit, and we'll start today.
Yeah, you've kindly asked me to talk about some of Spurs' history. So
yes, sir. Yeah.
I want to show you a certain part of the history. How Spurs, now through the historical ether of football, our Spurs were pioneers of total football, which the Dutch team played. So we start in the early 1900s, and a guy who was going to be our future manager, Peter McWilliam, a Scot, played for Inverness Caledonians for 2 years before moving on to Newcastle. He spent 9 years at Newcastle. He won 3 First Division titles and an FA Cup before becoming Spurs managers in 1912. He was manager from 1912 to 1927. But in 1920, he wins the Spurs, the Second Division Championship, gets promoted to Spurs, playing a fast possession-based type football that he took on from his success at Newcastle. And this fast possession style football was new to everyone. It was new because footballs back in the day weren't the scientific products they are today. Pitches cut up at a few minutes, there were no floodlights, and all pitches after a couple of months, they became mud baths. You can see it in modern games, even when Hoddle played, they were mud baths. You can look at all the old videos. And so, because of the state of the pitches, everyone played long ball football, hoof it upfield to a big centre forwards mainly. And that was the game. But Spurs were playing football on the ground, and the football Spurs plays became known as the Spurs way of playing. So we get to the 1921 Cup final with McMillan, and we meet Wolves in the final. Games played at Stamford Bridge, and we win the game 8 minutes in the second half with a goal by Jimmy Dimmock. The following year, Spurs are runners up in the first division. In 1927, Peter McMillan, he had 2 stints at the club. He leaves the club to go to Middlesbrough for a short stint for a fantastic summer year of £1,500 a year. Doesn't work out. He comes back. He has his second to last spell at Spurs from 1938 to 42. Now, while he was manager, Vic Buckingham and Arthur Rowe played for Spurs. And they also took on his ideas of football, played on the ground, fast possession style play of football, which everyone admired. And we'll come to those characters later. So he ends his career in 42. Decides he's too old to be a manager, and that's it. But his style and his way didn't go unnoticed because the Hungarians came calling. They wanted Spurs players, Spurs coaches to teach them the Spurs way of playing football on the ground. And they went away and did that. And after the war, they come back. They beat England. They become known as the Magical Magyars. They beat England 6-3 at Wembley. And in a return game, they thrash England 7-1 in Budapest. So we park the Hungarians there and we go back to Vic Buckingham, who was very influential. Vic Buckingham became manager of Pegasus. Now, Pegasus were the combined universities of Oxford and Cambridge. And Vic Buckingham win. They meet Bishop Auckland in the amateur FA Cup final. And Pegasus win the game 2-1 in front of a crowd of 100,000 people. Wow. Vic Buckingham goes on to manage West Bromwich Albion. In 1954, he wins the FA Cup with West Brom, playing, this possession style, fast play football that everyone's grown to love. Well, they're still playing long ball football. Most teams are still playing long ball football. And that doesn't go, and he narrowly misses out on the double with them. But his success doesn't go unnoticed. Who comes calling for Vic Buckingham? Ajax of Amsterdam. He goes and manages Ajax of Amsterdam, and he wins the Eredivisie with them in his year there, right? He leaves after a while, and he comes back. This is 1960, while Bill Nicholson is winning the double at Spurs. So he leaves Ajax, and eventually he goes back for a second spell. And in 1964, he gives a young player, you may have heard of his debut, young player called Johan Cruyff, one of the best footballers I've ever seen. But after being there, the second spell doesn't work out so well. So who comes calling? Barcelona. So Vic Buckingham manages Barcelona. In 1970, he wins the General Amisio Cup with them and narrowly misses out on the league title to Valencia, who they beat in that cup final over the head-to-head matches. I mean, they drew one and lost one. After that, Vic Buckingham, I think he managed Fulham. He was in Greece, other clubs like that, right? And there is career endings, but you can see his influence on total football because who took over from Vic Buckingham Ajax? The famous Dutch manager, Rinus Michels. Who took over Vic Buckingham when he left Barcelona? The famous Dutch manager, Rinus Michels. So the story for Vic Buckingham ends there. But we come back to Arthur Rowe, who played under Peter McWilliam. Arthur Rowe became famed for his famous push and run style in the late 49s and 50s. He wins the second division title with Spurs in 1949, and in 1950 he wins it the following year. He wins the first division title. Who plays for Arthur Rowe in that team? Well, the two fullbacks you may have heard of. One's called Alf Ramsey, went on to become Sir Alf Ramsey, and another one's called Bill Nicholson. Right? So we now move on to 1960. Right? So while Bill Nicholson's winning the double, one of these famous Hungarians who's adopted the style becomes probably the most famous player ever, Ferenc Puskás. He's playing his football in Hungary, and he's now playing at Real Madrid, and he wins European Cups of Real Madrid. right before his career ends, and he goes on to coach around the world before ending up in Australia. Ferenc Puskas scored 618 goals in 619 games.
Wow.
He scored 84 goals in 85 internationals. So he was called the Galloping Major because he was given that rank in Hungarian when they, national conscription. So you can see why the award there is a Ferenc Puskas award today, because the guy was the Messi, Ronaldo, Jimmy Graves, all in one of it, blended together of his time. Right.
Yeah,
so
yeah, absolutely.
Billy Nick's winning the double over here, and Ferenc Puskas, when his career ends, he starts coaching around Europe and all that, and so eventually he ends up in Australia, wins a few trophies there and all that, and he ends up at a team and he manages South Melbourne Hellas. And there's a player we all know and love at this moment, who's our present manager, who played for South Melbourne Hellas, and that manager is Angelos Postecoglou. I just think I've shown how, through the historical ether of football, how Spurs were pioneers of total football. Everyone, even prior to them going away, all the talk around the leagues at the time when it was all this long ball game, it was just called the Spurs way of playing. And Spurs have been so influential, on the modern game from back then. And those that were privileged enough to watch the Dutch side in the 70s with Cruyff, Neeskens, Johnny Rep, and all the others, Ajax, this is where it come from, because football wasn't very professional in Holland at that time. And, Vic Buckingham, having taken on the ideas of Peter McWilliam, right, was partly responsible. Obviously, these managers had their own ideas which they blended, but they were very influenced by football on the ground. So yeah, this is the reason this is important that fans know this. Is because when I get fans say to me, "Oh, there should be a statue for Greaves," or I thought the best player England have ever produced, Bill Nicholson, Keith Burton, Sean the Garner players, you could name the double team and all that. You have to balance it out. You can't have statues all around the ground. And there are people that would have remembered. So I do hope that Spurs, when they eventually get their finger out and finish this museum that we can go to, I'm sure I'll be emailing them, and we'll all be emailing them about what to do, that somehow they can, if they're going to honour the double side, I mean, you could have a few statues, but if you had like those big engraved, not paintings, but engraved murals or brass murals or bronze murals around the areas of the stadium with, like, say, the double team on one or another team on another. You could do it like that. You can't have 100 statues around the ground. It would just look ridiculous, you know what I mean? So I think, like, I'll talk about other areas, 1901 and all that another time. But yeah, that's just a brief historical
Brilliant.
Perfect.
Enjoyed it, guys.
Brilliant.
When you hear about total football,
didn't it?
Yeah, you got it all the way back. You started and you ended here.
It's like destiny. You think it's destiny. There he's turned up. All that circle way it comes round back to us, you know. So
absolutely.
Glad you enjoyed it. Those in the chat enjoyed it as well.
Oh, definitely. And everybody in the chat was enjoying it too. I don't know if you saw the comments, but there were lots of nice ones. But yeah, Chris Peters, we first won the FA Cup in 1901, the first and only non-league club to do it. Sonny Wife wants to know if you're the human version of Wikipedia. You have everything in your head as if you're reading a book. Sonny's wife is very, very impressed.
Well, the 1901, I mean, that was interesting. If you want to hear a little bit, it won't take long to talk about that. It's a short. See, everything else you talk about Spurs is more short things. You'd have to combine a few cup final things.
This is my favorite comment, real quick.
Yeah,
never borrow money from Adrian.
Yeah, in 1900, John Cameron was manager of Spurs, and he was a player. He wasn't captain. Jack Jones was captain. But Spurs were an amateur club. They were in the Southern League. And in 1900, they won the Southern League. So in 1901, when the FA Cup rounds come round, Spurs were given a bye. Sheffield United had won the FA Cup the previous year, and they were in the round. So they were given byes as well. Eventually, the two clubs met in the final. Spurs being an amateur club. And the game was played at Crystal Palace in front of a crowd of 110,000.
Amazing. Amazing.
Andy Brown Yeah, but there was no TV. You only had the cinema on those days. You didn't have all the distractions. You could go off and do things like kids have got now on the internet and all that.
No,
There
we've got so many distractions.
was an event. Everyone went. You know what I mean? That's what it was like. You know?
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
So the game was played there, and the game finished 2-2. And Sandy Brown, who played for Spurs and scored the most goals, it was a record at the time in the FA Cup, 15 goals through the competition. He scored out 2 goals. So the replay was at Burnham Park, Bolton. And there was only, because it was a replay, there was only low 20,000 turned up to watch the game. And Sheffield United scored first. John Cameron equalised. And I think Sandy Brown definitely scored and Smith scored. And Spurs won the cup 3-1. The only amateur club to ever win the FA Cup. It will never be done again. You know. So that's just a little brief bit about 1901 Spurs history then, like, you know.
Like this comment from Jim too. The knowledge is out of this world. He can't remember what he had for breakfast yesterday. 100%. You are Mr. Tottenham, Adrian. Very, very lucky to have you on the show. Everybody is thoroughly impressed. Takes off his hat to Adrian for the knowledge he has on football, and that's from Jim. Jim doesn't get out of compliments easily.
Actually, he does. He's really nice.
Chris Peters says that you are the football savant. I agree completely. And thank you so much, Adrian. You talked about our Spurs with so much pride. We really appreciate you. This is a lovely segment. I can't long may it continue. I can't wait to learn more. But yeah,
I was inducted to the Spurs tribe by my family. It was either that or the orphanage. So, you know, I mean, like, you know, like
you made the right choice. You made the right choice.
Yeah.
But real quick, you guys, on a totally different note, and this was the other day, we all talked about this, but Andros found a club.
Yeah.
Our old boy, Andros Townsend, is playing football again. Does anybody have any fond memories of Andros Townsend? I mean, like, he seemed like he was
Colin, before you get into this, I've actually got to get going, buddy.
No. Thank you for being here. Let me get that link up for you again, or we'll throw it up even if you're gone. Yeah, everybody. Three Spurs boys. Everybody, check them out. We'll throw the comments up a couple of times for you. I promise, buddy.
See you later, Bobby.
All right, have a good day, everybody. I'm sure we'll see you soon. Okay, thanks. Take care. Bye.
Thanks for joining us, bub.
Sure thing, man. Colin, take care, buddy. Have a great day. All right, everybody. Have a good weekend, chat.
And you.
There goes Bobby K, everyone, a true legend. He's got his own wonderful channel, Three Spurs Boys. I will locate. Oh, here it is. Everybody, sub to Bobby K at youtube.com/@3 Spurs Boys 584. Please go over there and subscribe. They do great work. They deserve all the subs and likes, and just get over there and please give them some attention. And since everyone else has got their cat, here's my cat. His name is Grizz.
Grizz.
Yeah, Grizz. Oh, my thing fell. And there's my flag.
I've never seen so much pussy.
What's the story behind you calling him Grizz?
So there's a show I watch on TV called 30 Rock, and there's these two guys, they're brothers, and their names are Grizz and .com. They're the bodyguards to Tracy Morgan's character, Tracy Jordan. And since my cats are brothers, decided, and so I named my cats after him, Grizz and .com. So I love that show. That's my feel good show when I'm not having a good day. Throw on some 30 Rock.
Alec Baldwin is brilliant in that.
He is.
I didn't think he could be funny, but he is.
I didn't know that show was a big. I didn't know that show was a big thing.
It was big with me because Sophia got into it when she was over in Miami at Miami University, and she told me about it.
Well, that's awesome. It's a good show for real. But here, real quick, so we'll get back to Andros. Andros has found the club. Chris Peters' comment is hilarious. But yeah, did you guys think Andros was going to make it with the club? Was there ever a time when you thought, hey, this guy's got it?
Well, not really.
I had hopes.
He was a good player. He's an exciting player to watch. Got a good engine on him. Got a very good shot, but he just didn't do enough for me.
He tried too hard to be Bale, it seemed like. Don't you think he was trying way too hard to single-handedly, and I'll throw this at Kate as well. But Kate, don't you think Andros was trying just a little bit too hard to be Gareth Bale? He wanted to dribble past an entire team and then smack one, and have it dip and dive in the air.
I always quite liked him, actually. I never thought he was like brilliant, but I always quite liked him. I don't know if I thought he was trying to be better, really.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, do you know what? I like Spurs. I like players that used to play for Spurs and commentate on games and don't slag us off all the time. And he always fights that corner, Andros Townsend, unlike people like Glenn Odder, who I can't stick. He's always got our back. Do you know what I mean? So I like that because I think if you played for the club, you should have a bit of loyalty. And I watched him the other day, and people were saying we were lucky, we were this, we were that, and he'll always fight for Spurs' corner. So I like him. But I never really looked at him and thought, wow, he's brilliant. I just thought
he's one of those like Defoe and like Aaron Lennon that you love all the time.
Yeah,
and Sandra, you're always going to love him. And what I liked about Andros Townsend, I mean, I was surprised when he went, actually. I was a bit disappointed when he left the club.
It was sad. It was sad, yeah.
Because he got an England cap because he went through a period, if you remember, where he scored a few long-distance goals. They were like, he could hit a ball from outside the box. And he scored some nice goals. I think he even scored for England. I mean, like,
he did.
He was his career at Spurs was too short-lived, in my opinion. I thought, you know, I can't remember the rest of the players who were played around him that we picked above him at the moment. We would have Mason would have been there, I suppose. And we had
he came through with Kane and those guys, right? Him, Kane, Mason. I think we're all kind of in the same age group there.
I think he came through before.
Oh, really? Was it slightly before them?
Very compact player, very small. Because he came in. I told you he came into the outdoor living company I was working at, and I stood next to him, and he was only an inch taller than me. I'm telling you, I thought he was always taller, but he appears
taller. He appears taller than that on TV. That's for sure.
He's about 5'6", I would say, no taller than that. But you know what? He's very compact, very slim. But when he's on the football pitch, he looks beefy.
That bit
it really does.
That bit. Some of the times in history when you try and learn about Spurs, you get a bit cloudy. It all merges. Was like Sigurdsson and Lewis Holtby around there at that time, or were they?
Oh, I love Sticky.
Yeah.
I
mean,
I know Soldado was because I remember going to a European.
Well, that would have been after the Bale sale. So we would have had, if Soldado was there, would have had Ericsson there, would have had Chadley. Chadley might have kept him out of the team. I can't remember now. I seriously can't remember.
So it was under Pochettino, and I'm looking. It says no. It was nothing personal. Joining Tottenham's academy at age 8, Townsend went on to make 93 appearances for his boyhood club, but fell out of favor under Pochettino and was sold to Newcastle in January. So Joshua Onoma was playing ahead of him.
He came through the academy.
Yeah, Onoma got put in the game before Andros, and Andros then took out his frustration on that club fitness coach, and then during the warm down, and then that's when Pochettino banned him from first team training. But there was a behind the scenes ruckus. Yeah, and I mean I know that Lamela was there. Lamela was one of our wingers at that time.
Yeah,
Ericsson would have been there as well.
Ben Taleb. I know Ben Taleb obviously played a different position, but I'm just looking here to see who was there at the time. Ben Taleb was around.
Probably Hotham Ghali as well.
Speaking of Ben Taleb, that was another player who I really thought was going to like really make waves. You know, he seemed to be doing really good things at a young age.
He wanted to go though. He's regretted leaving Spurs, same as Van der Vaart regretted leaving in the end. But you know, they make the decision at the time, don't they? So you don't even go on at the time.
Yeah.
Real quick, while we were talking about commentators, Chris Peters says huddle over Cokehead all day long in commentary. I asked who he was referring to. We asked who he was referring to, and he said Merson. Cokehead equals Paul Merson.
I think Hoddle is fair. He doesn't really bite into us, not as much as say Merson does, but he can be a little bit more. He can be a little bit more supportive.
I thought it was a good manager, Hoddle. If it wasn't all that Ireland Drury BS he came out with, it had been of England like he was an innovator, like Terry Venables was. You know, he was an innovator. But
have you watched
a player? I've never seen he's the best player England have ever produced. Just go.
Adrian, have you watched the David Beckham documentary?
No.
Hoddle treated him appallingly, honestly. He really he threw him so far under the bus, it was unbelievable.
Yeah,
I
had no idea.
It's a great start for England. I haven't seen it, but sometimes managers and players don't get on. I mean, like,
yeah, they make decisions, don't they? And sometimes they're harsh.
Or they don't fancy players, What can you say?
when
Beckham on his best, brilliant crosser, good, great team with Gary Neville, great team up play, great link up play. They understood each other and all that. Very good for England. Got through to the final with that last goal against Greece, was it? Greece, yeah. I mean, served his country well. Silly sending off. I think he cost us. Otto again. I mean, for him not to like, what could you not like? There were games I see him play when his crossing was off. And because he wasn't the quickest Beckham, then he did look. But you knew what he could do. You knew what Beckham could do from his other games when he had off games. But
what I'm talking about, Adrian, is that when he got sent off in the World Cup, whereas someone like Ange Postecoglou would say, "Oh, he's going to have to live with that, but we look after him." He just went, "Yeah, he's stupid. I mean, he's cost us. And then another interview, he said the same thing. So he helped escalate the hate. I mean, what David Beckham went through was horrendous. And I just think any manager that's prepared to throw their player under the bus like that, I lose a lot of respect for him.
Yeah, I don't like players being thrown under the bus. You do it behind closed doors.
Exactly.
This is why I never wanted Mourinho or Conte at the club, because I knew, one, it was going to end badly when it ended, and two, they're not inspirational managers. They're not ones that put arms around players' shoulders. Boss the ones firmly, the ones that respond better to that. Put the arm around the shoulder of the others that are different. I mean, they weren't man management managers. It was all about them, egocentric. Everything was about them, as if they were important. No one's more important than my football club. No player is more important than Spurs. No matter how great you are, no one is more important than the football club, because the football club's going to be there when you're gone, and so are we as fans, because we don't play. We watch our team play for as long as we live. You know what I mean? But I don't. I hated. I mean, I didn't know nothing about Nuno Espirito Santos, but the football I watched under those three managers, I mean, to me, it's anti-football. It wasn't even football. And yet I've got a season ticket, so I'm walking out my front door to go to each of those games, because I support the team. I support the team first. I don't support the board. I don't support everything else. I mean, I'd support the board if they do good things, but I support the team. Supporters should all support the team, even if they're angry at the board, or what's gone on in the past. And there's been a lot that's not been good at Spurs for so long, right? And it's getting better. It's getting better now. It's been improved in all areas on the footballing side. But I support the team first and foremost. Any pats on the back to other sections of the club have to be thoroughly earned,
Everybody's 100%. Got their favourite players, haven't they, as well? Players you players you don't like.
Real quick, I wanted to read this out from El Tel, Jose, the man himself. So he had an Arsenal pal he knows who went to see Parler and Mason last night, or Merson, last night in Hastings. And he messaged me and said that the two biggest boos from the crowd were when they both independently said, let me get the comment up here, that Tottenham would finish in the top 4 this season. Love it. Gotta love it. And then there was a comment from Chris Peters that I don't understand, so someone's going to have to explain this to me. This one. Never mention Gally again.
Yeah, because what he did, Colin, he threw his shirt. He took his shirt and threw it at the bench. Threw it down like a bit of dirt.
That's not good.
You do that, or you walk off the pitch slowly like Ndombele, and you are finished with the majority of the first. You will never be forgiven. You can apologise as many times as you like, but you'll never be.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, I just wanted to bring back this up one more time. The two reasons I became a Tottenham fan: style of play, and then the chip on the shoulder underdog attitude. We lost both briefly during the Jose and Conte era. Cannot wait to wake up early to watch again. 100%. And these guys here are two of the biggest ones that are helping us get that mentality back. And I just like to kind of tie it back in. The winners of this month's awards, Sonny and our Ange Postecoglou. Bobby K, I will absolutely Google it and see just what a big see you next Tuesday he is.
Shit.
Jim forgot all about Shirtgate. I never knew. So we'll have to look it up.
Shirtgate.
It's horrible.
I'll definitely have to look it up. But I agree, Adrian. The team is what comes first, says Jim. Yes, for sure.
You know what was bad as well, Colin? They asked him to pick it up, and he just walked past it, and he didn't even go back and pick the shirt up. You know,
did he ever? Was he done after that? Did he ever play again?
Nah, he didn't. I don't think he played again. Nah.
Good. Well, I'm glad.
Yeah, what I disagree with as well is the treatment that Davison Sanchez got when he was booed coming off the pitch.
God, that was so awful.
I mean, in terms of saying they're bad about the crowd are entitled. I mean, they're to do what they want, I suppose, because they pay their money and come in. But this has all come with all the modern media in it. It seems to be fashionable to hate one particular person or hate one particular player in the England team or whatever it is. It's just be fashionable to turn your hate. And I don't like it. I mean, like, you know, every player at this club, even if they're like Matt Jansen and Kudo Ng and all that, even if they're rubbish, while they're at the club, I will support them. Right? I know, because I know they've not got a long-term future at the club. Because you know a pig and a poke when you see one on a football pitch, like so.
Yeah.
But
that's a new one. I'm gonna have to remember that one too.
Yeah, the players there, I will support them. I'm not going to boo any player off the pitch. I might shout out rubbish at the end of the game of Spurs or whatever. But I won't finger point basically at any individual. You know.
Look at that pretty cat. Sorry about that, everybody, but look at that pretty sleepy kitty. All he does is sleep. It looks like
my ginger cat when he was small.
all ginger cats are snuggly,
so lovely.
snuggly babies, and they're not the smartest cats, but that's what I like best about them. Some cats.
It made here. I've got it made.
Is it true that all ginger cats are boys, tomcats?
I don't know. I've never heard it. I'll have to look into that.
I've seen a girl ginger cat, and I grew up with cats, and they're all the ginger.
No, I've never seen a girl ginger cat either. You're right.
I'll have to look into this. I will have the answer on tomorrow's show. Absolutely, you guys tune in, and I will have a scientific answer for this. But guys, again, LTEL is just killing it. Says smash the like. It's free. Subscribe if you're new and you like the content 100%. And guys, I have got to wrap things up. I am got to go to work and got some things to do. Yep. But you guys, you have been awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been different without my main co-host here, but you guys have done a great job of helping to fill Jose's massive boots. He's definitely a tough guy to replace, but you guys have done such a good job. Thank you all for being here. Ellie, of course, thank you for your segment today that we're going to continue to do. Adrian, thank you for your segment today that we're going to continue to do. I need to do some work on your opening. I'll get that done today. And then, Kate, you got to send me some clips for your opening, and I'll get that going too.
I know, sorry. I need to get my son to film them.
Yes, you do. He's a good kid. I'm sure he'll do it.
Yes. The country section.
Do what? Do what section?
Ginger pussy section.
Hey, it's everybody too.
No, they were taking stick, these two, for like typical stereotype image of a woman as a. Now they're homemakers rather than housewives under social science, right? They're homemakers, but they would get some chauvinistic or misogynist were on the chat giving them a bit of stick, you know.
In the kitchen.
Why did the wife cross the road? And the answer's, never mind why she crossed the road. Why wasn't she in the kitchen?
Oh my God, you guys, you are too much.
I know worse ones than that, but they're not for today's audience. They were like old school jokes. Like
right. We might be able to get them on another one.
Why are they in the kitchen?
Yeah,
there you go. Exactly. But gang, I just want to say again, there's the Patreon link down below. Here, I'll point at it just in case. Boom. If you want to be a Patreon member like Chris Peters, like Wayne Bonner, check it out. I still got to send them their shirts. Sorry about the wait, guys. But yeah, so please take a look at that. Take a look at the memberships that are available. You get some cool stuff. So yeah, just take a look. Consider that if you'd like. But if you don't want to, no problem. Just make sure you've liked and subscribed. It really means a lot. And everybody, if you could, like I said, on your way out, make sure you hit a like and throw a comment on the video once it's done. That helps as well. But guys, I'm gonna one more time put up the link to Kate's channel. I'm gonna put up the link to Adrian's Facebook. So one second here. Boom. YouTube.com/@JustAGirlWhoLovesSpurs. And then let me find Mr. Adrian's Facebook group. It's right here. You can also find Adrian's Facebook group on his Twitter. His Twitter handle is right there. It's @Adrian_Sroka. And so go and support them, please. Thank you. Yeah, thank you to everyone on the panel and in the chat. Truly, truly, truly appreciate you guys. Everybody, we couldn't have done it without you. That's what this show is all about, a big family. We didn't get to do Guest Corner today, and I'm very sorry. Guest Corner will be back tomorrow. Apologies on that. Just kind of ran out of time. We went a little too long, but it was great. It was all great fun. Chris Peters says, bring a cat show. Everybody bring your cat. Everybody bring your cat tomorrow. That is a good idea. We will have a cat show. And then everybody's got or bring a pussy show. Yeah, exactly. We could do it.
Knew that was coming.
See y'all Monday. Have a good weekend. I might be doing some weekend shows, everybody. So watch out. Watch this space. Click that bell and you'll know for sure. But yeah, see you guys soon. Anybody have any any comments on the way out? Anybody wanted to say anything?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that you can find me on Twitter as well. Spurs Are Us at Queen Ellie Hoybier. Sorry.
Yeah, awesome. Let me find you on Twitter really quick and get.
Yeah.
And I'm on there.
I've got over 2,700 subscribers now.
Dang!
I'm building up.
I forgot that I'm on my work computer and I can't sign into Twitter on this. Shoot! If you guys have the link, please let me know. And then El Cockerel says, "What time tomorrow?" Shooting for the same time, boss. Same time as today. 4 p.m. for you guys over in England and foggy London town. It would be 4 p.m. for you guys. Same time as today.
And I'm on Twitter as well.
What did you guys Twitter? Can you throw your Twitter handles into the chat and I'll put them up?
Yeah, it's I've got 2,900 and something.
Ooh, I thought I had a lot. I've got like 1,200. You guys are kicking my ass.
That's my Twitter handle there.
Lovely.
I'll put mine.
Oh, Adrian just bounced. He had to go. Well, again, everybody, thank you to Adrian. He is a good man. Like I said, our Spurs encyclopedia, teaching us everything we need to know. So here is Kate's. It should be at Kate1305 for Kate on Twitter, and then we've also got Ellie, and Ellie's is right here.
I've taken the Queen off. I just put Ellie.
Comments.
People think different things when it's Queen.
So yeah, follow Kate on Twitter, everybody, at Kate1305, and then Ellie at Spurs Are Us at Ellie Hoybier. Guys, please follow them on social media. Kate's got an excellent channel that she does, and a new show with Jim. Everybody, please check that out. Their opening was made by like some up and coming director who's like a really big deal at making things. So check that out too. But everybody, as always, come on, you Spurs, hurry up, international break, and come on, boys, come home uninjured, right?
Yes.
I've
Awesome.
got a new song for you, Colin. Give me a ginger from US. Colin is the man. Yes, he is.
I love it.
Come on, Colin.
Yes, I love it so much.
Ginger from the US.
We're gonna start singing it. We'll have to get that one recorded too. But
are you gonna play your James Madison song?
I'll play us out with it. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
that's a good idea. We'll play out with the James Madison song. Here we go, and then we'll end right after it's over.
My team has got James Madison. James Madison is what we need. Whoa, thank God we got James Madison. This kid plays ball like you would never believe. Whoa.